Audie's podcast, WATP.
I don't know how Doug found this show. Nobody else has. I have a lot of questions for you. That's a show hosted by Chris Tease and Jason Bauman. Yeah, when Earl, so I just met Earl 5 minutes before this started. And the first thing he said to me was, Carl, if this was an assignment to do this show, I'd punch you in the face.
This was
having to listen to this podcast.
I thought you were testing me. I thought you were like, we got better shows, but you're going to test me with this thing. I got to. When I listened to this, I initially was like, okay, this is going to be bad, and only because when they came out, they just were bitching and moaning. I've never heard. Thank you very much. That was my white hand that came into the frame. All that the bitching and vetching that they do about things like, oh well, Black Friday. I hate to go to Black Friday, and I'm going, well, who doesn't? I mean, it's like,
well, okay, very good point. I'm going to start off with a clip how the show started, the most recent episode. And they try to be like really badass.
Yeah.
And they want to talk about all this crazy stuff. It reminds me of people who like, that guy talk format on the radio, and they're trying to emulate that.
Right, yeah.
They try to be those guys that you hear on the radio and talk about all this crazy cool guy stuff. But then they get into like fucking grocery shopping or something. Well,
it's rough because, that whole tough guy out of the box thing it's been done. You really can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's played out.
It's so
maybe
far
someone
off.
could do it, but not these two guys.
No, yeah, you're right.
So
you're right.
Let me start off. We're off to a bad start on the show.
Shut up, Cincinnati. Hey, we're back. For all you video listeners, we are back. For all you... I fucked that up already.
Video listeners. Yeah.
Video listeners.
Video viewers.
Video viewers. Viewers. We can just go with viewers. We don't have to put videos in there.
No.
Welcome to the show, guys. We already started the show, but the producer forgot to hit record on the video button. So
yeah.
Now we're back for all you audio cunts that just listen to our show because you don't want to look at these pretty fucking faces.
I hate that. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care what just happened. Get your shit together and figure it out.
I like the fact that when they come out and they're like, okay, we're going to let you know that we don't believe that we're good looking. Okay, we know we're ugly, but we believe it's just weird. I mean, and especially like when we go down further, you'll be able to see some of the things they talk about that.
Well, let me play this clip and then I'll hand it over to Doug because I'm interested in what he picked up on. But this actually plays perfectly to what you were talking about, Earl, with these rants that they have that are ridiculous.
It's almost, you won't know this, but it's almost Thanksgiving. I'm cooking something, but I don't know what. But let me tell you what pisses me off about Thanksgiving. I went online to do my shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's out of stock.
Okay.
Everything's out of stock. I go in there. There's 10 million of them.
Okay.
But when I'm doing the delivery, we can't bring that to you. Out of stock. But no, it's not out of stock. I just saw 8 pallets of fucking canned corn. Don't tell me it's out of stock.
Go get your food, dude.
You know what grinds my gears?
And another fucking thing.
Yeah. See, that guy just answered. He just answered him. So now you think they would move on to something else,
Right.
But no.
Well, that's how they start the show.
Yeah.
Where he's bitching about things being out of stock or whatever. And the guy's like, oh, okay. So you had to drive to the store and get it? What are we doing right now?
Here's another violation that's cropped up over the years that grinds my gears. You got to vape right before you talk.
Yes.
Right before you're supposed to respond to someone, you're like, yeah, I totally agree with that.
They're so laid back.
Yeah.
Are we doing a show? I can't even tell. I'm just so comfortable here.
So
All right.
edgy.
Doug, what did you pick up on? And how did you find this show?
Yeah, really.
So first off, I'm glad Chris brought that up because I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that when I'm playing my clips, it's not me vaping while they're playing. Second thing is I put a note out on Twitter seeing if anybody had any ideas for a show for me to bring. And Mooney sent this to me.
Fuck you, Mooney.
Oh, we got to meet Mooney. We owe him.
Yeah, Mooney, we got a problem. All right, what do you got, Doug? Where do you want to start?
Okay, so but the first thing I want to bring is that it wasn't grocery shopping. It was a conversation about water, bottled water. So I spent, I'm going to say it was a solid 8-minute conversation about bottled water, and I knew I wanted to bring the conversation to the show. I just didn't know how to do it. So I started making a clip that was speeding up every time they said water.
Okay.
and it still went for 2 minutes. I'm gonna play it just because I put the work in, but I'm not gonna play the full 2 minutes.
Anyways, real quick, Doug, before you hit that.
So
some people like to start strong on this show. Doug's like, this is the worst clip that I have. this is going to go on way too long. It's annoying. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, water. So this is definitely the bottom. That's the lowest tier of water. Dasani is above. So yeah, given the choice between those two, I will go with that. If you're given the choice of any water, what do you pick? Core. Core. See, that's not mine. Core gets me mostly because of the bottle. I love the size, I love the way it is.
All right, so you get it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it goes on and on and on. So then I took the entire conversation, cut it in half, and then took that and cut big chunks of it out, which I'm going to play now.
Okay.
Anyways, water. So Dasani is definitely the bottom of the barrel. As far as I'm concerned, Aquafina is definitely the bottom. That's the, if you're given the choice of any water, what do you pick?
Core.
I love the bottle size. I love the way the lid is, and I love the giant.
Okay, I'm not playing anymore. It goes on for another
Thank
minute.
you very much. I appreciate that. Oh my goodness, that picky about freaking water, and I couldn't even tell you the different names of bottled water. Quite frankly,
No, because who gives a shit?
no.
Who cares?
I think after wet, I think I'm done.
Yeah, fine. Is it clear or good?
When have you ever had a water that was like, oh my God, I need my Fiji?
Even if I had, I wouldn't bring it up right now.
Right. Thank you.
Because we're doing a show. No one wants to hear about my water rant.
So I got a clip. To me, it summarizes the show. I think of the two, Jason is the funnier and Chris is the liar. And the way that I have this labeled is Jason searches for something to talk about and Chris searches for something to lie about.
Okay.
If given the choice, now let's talk water real quick.
Is
That
bottled
the
water
worst bottle-
supposed to when you open it? No,
Why did you get that?
because it was the only one they had.
The only bottle of water.
The only
you went
bottle
to a
of
place that
They
only
had this or
offered that.
Aquafina.
Aquafina's awful too.
Yeah, they had both of those. I will ignore these anytime I can, but it's literally the only two bottles of water they had unless I wanted to buy the big one.
It's the only bottle of water they had other than these 18 other fucking brands.
Oh, yeah. You know, when he's going to get the water, you know he's definitely looking for content because most people would just grab the water and just kind of moved on.
Yeah.
But he's sitting there going, well, this could be pretty interesting. There are different names of water.
So
He's got a little notepad that he carries with him. I got to make the water bit. I can't forget that.
I mentioned to these guys, I was at a family function this morning, and none of the conversations were this boring. And this is at a family function with a bunch of weirdos, a bunch of hamburgers hanging out. And none of it was this bad. So they talk about things I actually do care about, like football, and they even make that boring. But before I get into spicy football talk, they have this segment called Asshole of the Week.
Oh.
There's a lot of segments on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Anyways, hey, fuck you. No, we'll do that later. All right,
Let's do the asshole though, because I've got one. It's really on my fucking mind.
asshole. Oh, fucking, why would you work? Why would you work?
Asshole of the week.
Why
Asshole
would
of
you
the
work?
week.
You know what I mean?
So it should be playing music right now.
Yeah.
It's fun that Jason has whatever he has to do to change the segments is out of his reach.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Out of frame.
You just fucking move it closer to you.
This fucking world sucks.
Asshole of the week. Asshole of the week. My asshole of the week is a buddy of ours, Brandon.
All right.
Brandon's my asshole of the
Brandon,
week.
you
Okay, let me
fucking
explain.
asshole.
Let me just explain.
Please don't. So they bring in Asshole of the Week as a guy no one knows.
Right.
And the reason why he's an asshole is because he's an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever. He posted on social media, Fly Eagles Fly. Gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Why would anyone care about that? No one knows who Brandon is. So then Jason brings in his Asshole of the Week.
My asshole of the week's Chris Tees. I was all
knew this was
I was
coming.
all excited the other day. He messages me and the guys, and he's like, "Hey guys, Amazon Fresh has 50% off over $100." So I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" So I'm on Amazon Fresh, and it's not easy to shop on Amazon Fresh, especially when you're doing a full grocery list. But I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to spend $350, $400. I get half off, $200. Boom!
Yeah.
Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. So I look through, and again, me and my wife, it takes about forever to get everything done. We get about $200 and something in the cart. I go to put his little code in. He said $50 off. Now I enjoy $50 off.
Yeah.
It's still pretty sweet.
See, two things here. First of all, he just went like, well, I read it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just move on. Second of all, he doesn't look like he's missing any kind of meals. He doesn't look like he does. It could be $50 added on, and he'd still get the meals.
I couldn't figure out if these guys are poor or not. I do have a clip that I'll tease that's coming up later that tells me
I
that
can
maybe
answer
they
this.
are. Okay. Go ahead, Doug. What's your take on that?
Coming up right now.
Both of them are Uber drivers. I know that.
No shame in that.
Correct. All right, so we just got a taste of the spicy grocery shopping talk that they get
I'm still
into.
reeling.
And
Yes.
it's great because it's in between. So Chris Tease talks about this girl coming over and licking his asshole, and then they talk about grocery shopping, and then they talk about quarterbacks. It's all over the place, but this is just really boring.
That's not 50% off. And then I go back and read it all and like $50 off. All right. And at that point, like you said, I could have canceled and tried to put everything back in and minimized it to $100. So I maximized the deal. Either way. Some of the shit there was more expensive than what I paid for at Kroger
Was
usually.
it?
Yeah, I mean, not much. It was comparable. But for one thing, I'm a generic guy typically at Kroger. So now I'm getting name brand peanut butter, shit like that. So it's a couple dollars here and there.
What? All right, this is the fucking disclaimer that they have at the beginning of the show. The following podcast is intended for all assholes. Don't be a pussy. It's rated X. All this shit. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is going to be, I don't know, guy talk, maybe hardcore stuff. Immediately, he's like, listen, normally I don't buy actual peanut butter with a brand name on it.
I'm more of a generic peanut butter guy.
Well, then the thing too is like he's sitting there and he's talking about how he didn't understand this and how he didn't do this and he needed, and then he says his friend's the asshole.
Right. Yeah, good points.
It's like if I said, Carl, your car's parked in the driveway and your car's not in the driveway and it's out on the street. You don't come up with this whole story about, well, that Earl's an asshole. He said, I went out there. It wasn't in the driveway.
Right.
It's on the street.
Figure it out for yourself. It's not that difficult. Like, what am I missing? Is there something good going on the show?
No, but I went into this thinking that I was going to enjoy it based on the episode or the podcast description.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
No, please
Yeah.
read it to me.
Okay. A podcast that delves in the depravity with such an utter delight and curiosity. Take a weekly trip into the gutter with a couple of chuckleheads and you'll be rewarded with giggles. Now,
Sounds like who's right, to be honest with you.
hold on. I'm going to play a clip from WATP episode 86.
Okay.
Today we'll be reviewing a podcast called Who's Right? Joe and I have both listened to the show separately. We have not discussed it with each other beforehand. So let's get into it. Joe, today it's the Bag Slappers versus the Chuckleheads.
Chuckleheads,
That's their self-description. And I would
Really?
say it's pretty accurate.
yeah.
These guys are a couple chuckleheads, all right.
So I thought this was going to be right in my fucking wheelhouse, man.
You guys should team up, maybe. Do a crossover show.
I don't have enough bottled water or grocery shopping experience to have an entire episode about it.
I can't believe how much water talk there was. I didn't hear that episode. That's insane.
Yeah, they're all over the place, and they even had a discussion about, I guess, two characters that I guess if you're just tuning into this show, you don't know who they are, but they keep challenging each other, and
Right.
one of the outcomes is some guy has to get an orange spray tan, which is like, okay,
Oh yeah,
it's,
they keep talking about what kind of challenge can we have them do? Let's shock them. Let's shock them over and over again so it hurts. I'm like, who are you guys, Vinny Paulino? You just want to hurt your friends? It's not cool.
Clearly.
It's not cool at all.
So in my episode, there was a lot of conversation from Chris. He is apparently a bull to a couple couples,
Yes.
and he makes sure to try to crowbar it into every fucking conversation.
Yep.
I heard that on the episode I listened to too, where apparently he's supposed to finish on the guy, and he's wearing. I know it's a whole thing.
There's a lot of man on man action, we'll say, and challenges of what would you do if one's a woman and one's a man, sort of a thing, which I
Yeah.
found very disturbing.
Yeah, the hypotheticals. I'll get into some of those examples, but go ahead, Doug.
Well, first, let's just say we're only going to be here for maybe an hour or so. Tight show. We're going to get in, get out, treat it just like we treated your mom, you son of a bitch. Change the seat, you dirty slut.
We're going to get in and out just like Harry Guy.
Yeah, just like Harry Guy, but not leave a cream pie behind.
No, not my thing.
So apparently Harry Guy is somebody that he was involved in the relationship with or whatever, but he keeps coming up over and over and any couple that he fucks around with, he's got some kind of super clever nickname for the guy. And that's it's nonstop.
Doug, I just have to clarify something. There's two different types of threesomes. There's the good kind and the bad kind. This guy keeps describing the bad kind.
I think that's called the devil's threesome.
Yeah,
That is, yes. It's not great. It's not ideal, I guess, is what you could say.
So, okay, there's a lot of conversation on WATP about the improper use of the word cuck, right?
Yes, correct.
Here's an example of I don't believe that he's using the word right.
Okay.
You mentioned that you filmed the cuck
Yeah.
having sex.
That's not how that works.
No, it's not.
Wait a minute, no, I'm not. Isn't the cuck the guy that's watching?
Cucks don't fuck.
Right. There you go. Well, that'll be a way for me to remember it forever now.
Easy way to remember. It's a cuckold because he's holding his cock. No one else is.
Good point.
Jesus. So I got to play for you the part that really bothered me because they're trying to be interesting. They're trying so hard to be interesting. So they have this segment called Name Your Price. And the Name Your Price segment is where they put out a hypothetical and you go, how much money would you need to be paid to do this thing? And it's this ridiculous thing. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And frankly, it's a little bit embarrassing that they would even put a price on this.
My question is, name your price for your wife to get your dick rock hard, okay? And then you to put it in a cage of a snake and get a bit on the pecker by a fucking, let's say a mean snake, but not poisonous.
A mean snake. I don't know.
With big teeth. A boa constrictor.
A mean
There's a
snake.
hungry boa in there, and they put a little fucking set of mouse ears
Boas,
on
they
your
try to
dick.
choke you.
Yes.
This is so childish. How much to have a snake bite your boner? Go.
Well, first of all, look, I don't need money that bad. Okay, I don't understand where if you're looking at it, I don't understand people going, well, what would you do? There's just some things where you can't do that with. That's one of them.
Right.
Okay, so I don't understand what this guy is. I can't remember what his decision was.
Oh, I'll give it to you. I got it right here.
You're taking a bite on the dick from a fucking mean, pissed off snake. Before they put him in there, they're going to like shake up the bag and get him all mad and fucking dump him in there. Your cock's
$5,000.
do $5 grand.
$5,000. I would close my eyes. I mean, like it wouldn't. Like
$5,000,
Dude.
Have a snake bite your boner?
You know, your dick should leave you if you believe it's only worth $5,000.
Right.
And can you maintain an erection when you know it's about to happen? I know I couldn't.
Doesn't that answer your earlier question about I don't know if these guys have any money or not?
Correct.
Yeah, you're right.
That was the thing where I went $5,000. I
that's
would have
it?
started in the seven figures on this one.
It also answers why you don't just listen to Jackass. You have to watch it.
Right, good point. So this gets even more retarded if there's a possibility for that to happen.
Which would you do if you had to do one?
What?
You wouldn't die, but you have to stick your cock in a beehive or stick your cock in a snake cage.
Snake every time.
You do it every time?
Yeah, because even the snake thing, I'm not gonna
So
like.
stupid.
I might not die with the bee thing, but I'm still gonna fucking swell up. It'd be great for a cock pick. You know, just like
God.
3 controlled bee stings in the right spots of my cock, and just take a couple
It
pics.
would add girth.
Yeah, oh, girth, Jesus Christ, it would look deformed.
But see, the problem with the snake is there's no guarantee where on the pecker he's going to bite you. Might be right on the helmet, might be on the nuts, might be on the
Oh,
side of the
my dick and nuts are in
Yeah,
there?
the
I
whole
thought you said
thing's
I
in
just
there.
stuck my dick in.
Oh, rock hard, but your nuts,
I
your
thought
nuts
this was
are
like a
hanging
cock
down, too.
sleeve. You know, you stick your dick in like a fucking fleshlight.
We're going to call it like a glory hole. It's a
Okay.
glory hole.
All right, Jason, you want to change the 5,000 now that you know your balls are in there too?
Yeah, make it 7.
Your answer.
4,200.
55.
You know, this show would be a hit in a lot of high school locker rooms.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I could see after football practice, everyone gathering around and listening to this. But I'm sitting here listening. I'm going, all the stuff they're talking about, there's no price. You're just,
Right.
You wouldn't be doing it at all.
You just don't do that.
No.
Correct. And Mikey points out there's 196 episodes of this shit. These guys have been doing this a very long time, and they're still this bad at it. They're just not interesting people to listen to talk. But maybe I'm wrong, Doug. What did you listen to?
I don't think they're interesting. I do think there was a couple times that Jason said things that he had good premises.
Okay.
And then Chris, the dumber of the two, would just be there to shit all over it or make sure that he couldn't go anywhere with it.
Perfect. So he's the Anthony of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're dumb. So you're right. I'm gonna luck her pussy.
Oh, she loves that, sir.
She loves when I luck her pussy.
When I showed her your cock, she said that she could spend a lot of time with that.
So what he was talking about is he was going back through the conversation that he had with one of the husband of the relationship that he's fucking around with.
Okay.
And he had misspelled, or his co-host had suggested that he misspelled the word lick with luck, and they could have went somewhere with it.
Sure.
He's fucking stupid. I don't know if you picked up that on in your episode.
I did. Yep.
And
Figure that out.
he's also I think he's a compulsive liar. So he's I've got this labeled as bullshit. Him being the bull in the relationship.
And I get a message on one of these fuck sites. It says, "Impressive dick, sir." And I'm like, hey, thanks. You know what I mean? Next thing I know, he was talking to me. He goes, I'm a 61-year-old cuck who can't satisfy my wife because my cock is pathetic. And my wife and I were looking at pictures and saw your dick. And, she would be honored if you would fuck her.
Okay, so I'm going to leave this up to you. I have this as bullshit 1 through 7.
Okay.
So I'm just going to plow through these. I want you to understand. It's like as his co-host is feeding into him, he keeps compounding on the stories.
Okay.
And any one of you three can tap out at any time.
Okay. Sounds
He
good.
starts telling me, I will be of service. And I put there, you're not fucking touching me, dude.
Of service? What's that mean?
Basically, he says, if you need me to, get you beers or take pictures or if you just want me to sit there in the corner and shut up, I will. I'll do whatever you need me to do.
Okay.
And I said, well, what I need you to do is don't fucking get near me. Okay. Don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
And, don't touch her either when I'm fucking her.
So I'm confused. He mentioned earlier that that this guy was impressed by this guy's dick,
Sure.
right? But now he's doing the filming, so he's not even using his dick. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, no.
I think that's a different couple.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
I'm sorry. I got my dicks
keep
mixed
up.
up. I'm sorry. I got my dick scrambled.
It happens.
But it does sound like he's lying because it's so staccato. It's like, like if that's me and I'm sitting there going, so I'm sitting there and the guy says, hey, is there anything I can get you? Do I get you a beer or anything, or can I help you do anything like that? And I say, hey man, no, stay over there, man. I'm going to stay over here. Then it sounds natural instead of going, then he said I was over, it's like AI, for goodness sakes,
Right.
So he is lying.
Also, I'll just point this out. Anyone who is the bull in these relationships and they're fucking, they're nailing all the chicks, don't need to brag about it.
Well, that's just it.
You just don't talk about that sort of thing. Like the guys who are really out there doing this shit, keep it on the DL.
Okay,
This is why
now-
I know he's lying.
To that point, I'm going to jump backwards here a little bit.
Okay.
Because I do find that a lot of these people that contact me have ED and whatever, which I do not have.
Thanks for telling us that.
Remember how I was saying I was fucking all these chicks? You know why? Because my dick works.
There's a sign of a guy that he's definitely insecure and watching. That's like someone coming up to you and going, "Hey, Carl, how you doing? My dick is fine,
Dude, my dick works. Why? Who told you otherwise?
My dick works and I can come.
That's so fucking weird.
I can't even imagine this guy even getting laid. To be quite honest,
Keep
with
them
you.
coming, Doug. Let's see if we can find one that
He
sounds
goes, well,
truthful.
what would you recommend, sir? I said, well, you guys drive down here and get a nice hotel downtown.
You're really nice hotel.
I said, nice hotel downtown. And he goes, would you like the honeymoon suite, sir?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
No, he did. Definitely did not.
That's lying.
Yeah.
He's lying. It's funny. I'm sitting
I
here
said,
and I'm
I want
thinking.
to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking as where I'm listening to this, and I go, okay. In my years of being on the road and everything, I've done some pretty, we'll just say some pretty interesting things, but I'm not sharing them.
Start with the boasting. Come on.
No. But what I'm saying, my point being is I'm sitting here and I'm going, boy, I wouldn't even mention that because. Even if you're in this situation, on his side, it all sounds really good. But when I'm outside looking in, I'm going, why? Why do you have time for that? Why are you and the honeymoon suite and all that other stuff? Come on, man.
And this is a show that nobody listens to.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening to. So they're just having a conversation amongst their friends. If I ever had a conversation with you on the phone about who I'm fucking or where I'm fucking or how I'm fucking, I don't think we're friends anymore after that.
Producer Chris, did you hang up? Where are you? What happened? Hello.
You must be really interested in this thing. You haven't said anything in a while.
Carl, I was just thinking about our last conversation that we had, and you're right. If it would have went, Doug, I'm sorry to hear about your job, man, but I do want to let you know my dick works.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
So, I didn't mention that. Doug actually recently lost his job because of his podcast, Who's Right? But Uber pays pretty well, right, Doug? So you're doing okay?
It does. I'm not doing too bad.
Oh, man.
All right, keep them coming.
All right. I'm gonna jump out of the cuck thing. Like I said, there's 4 more clips of it, and it is just lie after lie compounding. Okay. I did put together a game, so I'm going to try this. Jason, the funnier of the two, is also the more hackiest, I guess. That's a word
and fatter too. But that's
okay. So just for clarification, you're saying the funniest of the two. So were you talking about the big guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but you know what? Like we said before, this falls on Palestine.
Well, not Palestine. It falls on Hamas.
On Hamas, right?
Hamas.
But
what does the hack say next? First, take my wife, please.
Oh, no.
B, I just flew in from Cincinnati, and boy, are my arms tired. Lastly, I call him hummus.
I'm going to go first. I think it's lastly.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Well, not Palestine. It falls on Hamas.
on Hamas, right?
Hamas.
But I mean, yeah. But
Hamas.
think about
I call him hummus.
Ouch.
Opie would have loved it.
I love that Doug goes, he's the funnier of the two. Chris T should want to kick your ass for saying that Jason's the funnier of the two.
I got another example of that. This is Jason makes a joke, and Chris doesn't understand how jokes work.
Together, dude.
Yeah.
They don't get. I mean,
I don't know. It's a fucked up deal. I'm wondering when this thing is over, how many people are going to be dead?
At least 19. I was counting the other day, and there's at least 19 people dead from the videos I've seen.
No, there's 3,500 right now.
Wow. But I don't know who's worse. It might be a compliment that he did not get that joke.
Right, yeah. Good point. Yeah. Dude, you're way off. No.
Maybe his stupidity actually made him look smarter in this one.
Yeah, right. That can't possibly be an attempt at a humor, so I'll just let you know that it's actually a lot more people than that. Wow, we're going from the war in the Middle East to fucking chicks in front of their husbands to spicy football talk. And there's a fuck you segment they do near the end of the show. And of course, that's how you know it's pretty badass when they're telling people to fuck off.
Well, hopefully this is just for show and this isn't a real thing, because that's weird.
I'd go.
Of course you would.
I would.
Come on. I just want to point out, while they're playing this music, there is an image of a woman's ass, and fuck you is tattooed on her ass, and then they also write fuck you in a font above that. I feel like it's overkill, right? Like, once you find that image,
there's lyrics.
Well,
once you find that image, we're good, right?
Some people don't catch on to calligraphy right away.
Maybe that's what it
and
is.
maybe they have to put that
Fuck
on the top.
who?
Yeah.
Hey, I promise you that one of them texted this picture to the other one and said, dude, I found it. I found the picture we're going to use.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to go first? You want me to go first? I don't care.
Huh? You got one? Go ahead.
All right. Fuck you, Cincinnati Bengals fans.
Oh, watch out, Bengals fans. He's putting you on blast. Fucking boring. And this is after they had already done 25 minutes on boring football talk. And as I mentioned, I like football. And I was bored out of my mind and everything they were talking about. So then we go over to Chris, and he's going to do his fuck you.
All right, fuck Kiara.
Yeah, Kiara, whoever the fuck you are.
Here's Kiara. Let
Yeah.
me just tell you how
She work
fucking
at a Shell station in the West Side.
Uber customer.
Okay.
I pick her up in fucking Madisonville or something like that.
Yeah.
Guys, stop talking about random people you've seen in your lives. No one can relate to this.
You know, when I heard him say that, I thought he was trying to say Sierra. You know, the Sierra, the singer. I thought he was trying to say Sierra.
Sure.
Okay.
Or someone you would actually know.
Yeah. So when he started going down there, I'm going, no, I don't know. I don't think she'd jump in an Uber.
That's why I learned that he was an Uber driver.
Yeah, Earl, you're giving these guys way too much credit.
I know.
So I've got another Uber story.
Okay.
I'm doing it a little different. You only shared 15 seconds. I'm sharing the whole story, but it is heavily edited to try to make it
things
less
along.
miserable for
Okay,
everybody.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's still a minute. Here it goes.
This happened this morning. I'm Ubering, and I picked up a girl at Kroger, and she had some groceries, a few groceries. They all fit in the back seat.
I'm already angry.
It's one of those little side streets that allows cars to park on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And this truck is coming towards me. Not a work truck or anything. It was a pickup truck. And it was so funny because this guy's like eyeballing me because I'm stopped in the middle of this road and he can't get around me. And if this asshole would have given me 30 seconds, I could have pulled into the little spot that was there and he could have got by. And as he's going through, and he's not going through slow, I'm like, this fucker's going to hit my car. And he didn't, but he took the mirror off the car that was parked on the other side. So as I'm pulling out of the fucking thing, there's two cops sitting there. I unrolled my window and say, that dude in the green truck just sideswiped one of those cars.
You narked.
I narked.
You narked, dude.
I only narked because he was mean mugging me.
What a fucking.
And I like to see the vehicle he has where he can unroll the window.
Not a good sign.
Good point. What are you in the desert in a Jeep or something like that? Something like
You're in the desert in the 70s. Anything else, Doug? While we got you?
Yeah, I got another forever story edited down. This one's, I took it from 4.5 minutes to 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So my fuck you this week goes out to this little Mexican lady. We fucking go Dent Schoolhouse.
Dent Schoolhouse is a place. It's a school, or I don't even know if it's a school anymore. But anyways, on Halloween every year they turn into a haunted house, and it's.
I had a bottle of water in my hand that I just paid $3.99 for. Well, she fucking knocks into me with her elbow. The water falls on the ground. You know what this does? Sorry.
I get
Fuck you.
I had to
$4.
See, the problem.
Stupid fucking blabbermouth.
Here's the problem. If that woman had listened to his podcast and known his love of water,
Right. Should have been more careful.
she would have respected it more and avoided that situation. It's just a waste of
Imagine living a boring life and then thinking you should be talking about it on the internet. Why would you do
Right, and
that?
That's why I wanted to share that story, is essentially to break it all the way down. He went to a haunted house. Somebody bumped into him. He dropped his water. She apologized. That's 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
It's ridiculous.
That segment should be called something like things you just need to move on with.
Yeah.
Just move on.
Oh, I have a perfect example of that. And this is where, like I was saying, there's a lot of football talk. And finally, Jason gets bored with it and tells his co-host to move on.
I consider the letter of intent a contract to play there for 4 years. That's what I consider it. What's the point of it?
Man, I don't know.
You know?
I don't give a shit either. We need to move on.
All right, but before we move on, I'll ask one more football question.
All right.
No! When your co-host says we need to move on, move on!
What you don't get to see in that clip is he started talking about college and the transfer portal.
Right.
And how kids are able to jump into the portal and move on and everything. And he got into that, but it just kept going on in the
And
same
they didn't know
motion.
anything.
And they wouldn't do anything with it. No.
I think you used to be able to transfer once, and now you can transfer. But no, I don't know. I'm not sure. But they if you guys know what you're talking about, don't talk about it.
Don't bring it up.
Don't have to bring it up. It's fine.
Unless that's the segment, Stories of the Mundane.
Well, that's what's really funny is that they have these segments, and I guess there's a really tight schedule they have.
Playing trophy for the offensive line.
Bullshit.
Whatever. Let's get on the buttholes.
Yeah, let's get on the buttholes. What do we got to talk about?
Well,
is it a would you rather time or whatever the fuck we do? At this
no, not quite yet. We have a few minutes.
Do a few minutes.
I'm checking with the producer. Hold on.
Yeah, right.
All it sounds like is that they're filling time.
That's all this is.
Yeah.
It's just filling time.
Listen, if you're gonna get into buttholes, you definitely have to allot enough time for that. That's not a
Correct.
hit and run sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to let the affiliates know we're going to go long on this one.
So I didn't pull any clips of it, but once they get done with the water talk and then the cuck talk, then they have these segments that you keep bringing up. They have asshole of the week, fuck you of the week, you are a hero, and everyone has a prize. And between all of those segments, Chris keeps going back to the conversation that he had with one of the cucks or whatever. And I just made a note. The show should be called Crowbars and Bulldozers because they just force their way through all of the segments, regardless if they have anything or not.
You saw it, and he's fucking older than me. My wife saw your cock and wants to spend a lot of time with it. I'm down.
That's normal, but the other parts are weird.
I'm down.
So what's your fuck you, dude?
I gotta fuck you.
Quit talking about your dick. Can we just get through all these segments that you're making me do?
He wants to get with his dick. My goodness. Who even talks like they don't even talk like that in porn?
No, I know. It would be off-putting. You're like, enough of the TikTok. Let's get to the penetration already.
So I do want to say there was one clip that I pulled that actually made me laugh, and it was not the way they executed it, but it was the premise of the clip is kind of something that's in my wheelhouse. It's funny.
Before I get to my fuck you, let me tell you my favorite, and I don't even know if they exist anymore, but my favorite haunted house before was always St. Rita's haunted house. And St. Rita is the school of the deaf for people that don't know.
Yeah.
And they used to do a haunted house, and a lot of the deaf kids would do it. You know, they'd be the ghosts or, you know, the goblins and the werewolves and whatever that were inside the haunted house scaring you. And then you go on that St. Rita's thing, and it's all the deaf people who are like, ah! They don't know how loud they're being and their fucking tone, and they get right in your face, and they won't like back up because they have no like. Even if you say, "Ah, get away from me," they don't get it.
They can't hear you.
They hear you, and it's dark in there. They're probably like, "Move." It's so fucking funny, dude.
They're not retarded. They're deaf.
And he fucking kills it at the end.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, okay," and throws the retard word in there. You go, "Oh boy."
Well, laughing at disabled people, of course, is I'm sure what Doug was hoping was going to be happening the entire episode. So you were just waiting for that to finally come up.
Boom! There it is.
There it is. All right, we did it.
Who are these podcasts?